In 1988, John Carpenter released a movie so blunt, so on the nose, so hey idiot wake up that Hollywood buried it alive. That movie was They Live, and you're not supposed to remember it, because it's not just a sci-fi flick. It's a 94-minute middle finger to the ruling class and a warning. So today we're taking a deep dive into They Live, a movie that slapped you in the face and said wake up sheeple before that phrase got hijacked by your weird uncle on Facebook. Picture it, 1988, the Cold War is winding down, shoulder pads are high, Wall Street is higher, and America is drowning in Coca-Cola, credit card debt, and camcorders. Reagan's been re-elected, the rich are richer, and every news broadcast looks like a Pepsi commercial. Now enter John Carpenter, horror renegade, synth soundtrack wizard, and a man absolutely fed up. He's watching the country choke on its own Kool-Aid and decides, you know what this country needs? A B-movie sci-fi gut punch with pro wrestling and anti-capitalism propaganda. That'll go over great with Universal. Spoiler alert, it did not go over great. They Live's premise is simple. Put on magic sunglasses, see the truth. Without the glasses, life looks normal. With the glasses, every ad says buy, every magazine says consume. The money literally says this is your God. You know, just the subtle stuff. And the elites, yeah, they're not just rich. They're lizard, alien, goyle things disguised as CEOs, politicians, and morning news anchors, which honestly might be a documentary.
The per capita income of each of you here tonight has grown, and this year alone, by an average 39%.
Just think about how moist and lizard-like Peter Thiel is, or just look at Mark Zuckerberg. It's not just a metaphor for late-stage capitalism. It's a sledgehammer with subtitles. It's what's happened when George Orwell gets tired of writing and just throws a steel chair into the ring. Carpenter strips away the illusion and shows us the raw, skeletal machine behind the world. And that machine says, shut up, go to work, don't ask questions, and buy more junk. So who do you cast as your everyman rebel hero? Tom Cruise? Nope, too small. Arnold? Nah, too Austrian. Rowdy Piper. A Canadian pro wrestler known for smashing chairs and chewing bubblegum. And guess what? He's all out of bubblegum.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Carpenter didn't want a Hollywood actor. He wanted someone real, someone rough around the edges, someone who looked like he could fall asleep in an alley and wake up mid-fight. And Piper fucking delivered. He's not some chosen one or genius hacker. He's a construction worker with a mullet and a backpack full of sunglasses. That's your Messiah, folks. And honestly, it works, because if the revolution's coming, it's probably not led by Elon Musk. It's led by a guy named Nada, which literally means nothing. That's the point. Now we gotta talk about the fight. 6 minutes of brutal alleyway brawling. Piper versus Keith David. Just two guys trying to destroy each other's skeleton over one simple disagreement. Put on the sunglasses? No. Wham! Put on the sunglasses? No. Fucking crack. It's absurd, it's exhausting, it's symbolic. Because waking up to reality, that's not easy. You have to fight for it. You at least have to suplex your best friend into a dumpster. Despite Carpenter's track record, the studio barely marketed the film. Critics panned it, box office, meh. And Carpenter, he said this was the only film he made that got him hate mail. Apparently, the ruling class didn't appreciate being portrayed as flesh-melting corpse aliens. Weird. Rumor has it Universal gave it the release it and forget it treatment. Let it make its own money, then vanish. You know, just a coincidence that the most anti-corporate movie of the 80s got tossed in the same vault as Howard the fucking Duck. Flash forward 35 years, They Live is more relevant than ever. Our phones are billboards, our feeds are ad factories, your smart fridge is probably selling your data to PepsiCo right now. Shepard Farley, yeah, the guy behind the Obama Hope poster, literally built his career on the word obey because of They Live. The sunglasses aren't props anymore. They're metaphors for VPNs, ad blockers, media literacy, and maybe the only pair of Ray-Bans that can save your soul. And yeah, TikTok may be the opposite of sunglasses, because if Nada was alive today, he'd spend 6 minutes trying to convince you to delete the app while you throw hands over a thirst trap. But here's where it gets even more spicy. Some say Carpenter was warned not to make a sequel. Others claim They Live was predictive programming meant to expose the truth and make us numb to it. And the weirdest one, the sunglasses weren't metaphors. They were real. Experimental tech, AR overlays, secret, military, pat. And you didn't hear that from me. You heard it from a guy in a pyramid mask sipping coffee. And here's something fun. Ever notice how They Live doesn't get brought up on mainstream greatest sci-fi lists? Not on AFI, not on Empire, not even on one of those BuzzFeed articles like Top 10 Alien Invasions that are actually capitalism. Nope. Crickets. Despite its cult following and influence, They Live has been quietly excluded from academic film canons. Why? Because it makes rich people nervous. It doesn't just show you the monster, it tells you exactly where the monster banks. Carpenter himself later said the film is about yuppies and unrestrained capitalism. It was the Reagan Revolution. It's a documentary. Yeah, a documentary made by a guy who once summoned Satan through a mirror in Prince of Darkness. Now let's get weird for a second. The sunglasses, you could read them as analogy for privilege or lack of. Some people don't need glasses to see the system because they live in its consequences every day. Also, you'll love this one. The aliens don't fight directly. They hire humans to protect the system. Cops, media, business owners. Sound familiar? Keith David's character Frank has a line. I have a wife and kids. I need this job. That's the whole system right there. Keep everyone scared of losing what little they have, and they'll protect the very machine that's grinding them down. And don't get me started on the ending. Nada dies flipping off a broadcast tower. His final act is truth, but there's no sequel. There's no uprising, just a brief flash of awareness. Carpenter leaves it open, maybe because he knew the system doesn't get toppled by sunglasses alone. Let's circle back to that Obey campaign. Maybe it wasn't just an art project. Maybe it was a psyop. He literally wanted people to see it, be confused, and then search for meaning. Sound familiar? That's basically what They Live aliens did. They hide meaning in plain sight, except Shepard did it with street art. The aliens of They Live did it with skull faces and cable TV. And here's the kicker. Obey became a brand. You can buy it all over the mall now. So even the rebellion got commodified. The warning became a hoodie. Late stage capitalism is where you're wearing the movie's message and still get mugged by the rent. You ever wonder if They Live was the beginning of a trilogy and we're living in part 2? The ads talk back now. The screens are in our hands. We volunteer our data. We self-surveil. And we call it content. Maybe the aliens left. Maybe they won. Or maybe they just stopped hiding because we stopped looking. Hell, maybe the sunglasses were never off. We just got used to what we saw, or we just don't want to see anything different. Yeah. So maybe it was a documentary. Maybe John Carpenter just had better intel. And maybe, just maybe, that buzzing in your LED light isn't a glitch. It's a signal. So next time you walk past a billboard, ask yourself, is it trying to sell you something or control you? And if a sweaty Canadian wrestler shows up with a pair of Ray-Bans, maybe, just maybe, try them on.